In Hyrule Warriors Legends, Linkle finally gets to her end of the story. Yeah, Linkle did not get not a lot of missions in Hyrule Warriors Legends. Which, to be fair, she was, prominently, promoted as, the newest character on the block, but she didn't get she didn't get very much. Like, she got placed into, the extra Legends maps or adventure mode to get her weapons and everything, but she didn't get much development. And so, this is her ending story here. So Ganon's gone. Hyrule is clearing itself up, but warriors are still, fighting is still occurring. And Linkle is finally made it to the castle. Yeah, her entire arc was her to get to the castle to help save Hyrule, and yet she basically wandered on her own adventure, walking into battles that had no bearing on the story for her, very much.
The dark beast Ganon had been
With Ganon defeated,
and his allies.
but the army feels that they can still win, and yeah, so moblins, all the bad guys that Ganondorf had are still wanting to fight, and hoping that, they can take down Hyrule while, the strong heroes are gone. So when Zelda and Link departed to put the Master Sword back in, hordes of monsters comes by, and Impa is basically left alone to handle it. Yeah, what happened to Lana? I don't know. Yeah, because again, in the previous mission, she's like, yeah, Link, goodbye, and she didn't leave Hyrule Field after this. So it's like, where did Lana go? Like, Lana just mysteriously disappears. So it's left to Impa to basically hold down the fort. And with Hyrule's soldiers very weakened from the Ganon fight, we don't really have much of a chance to defend against a counterattack, technically. So, and that's where Linkle comes in. Linkle finally made it to the castle. Her story has been plagued by false starts from the moment. Just because she went right instead of left, she was going on haphazard adventures the entire time. It's only after finding her true self and knowing what her resolve was, is that she finally realized she was going the wrong way and finally made it to Hyrule Castle. It's now time for her to prove her worth and to save the day in the end.
Without another thought,
Alright, Linkle, let's save the day. Let's show these Hyrulean warriors who the true hero is. Let's get into the battle, shall we? And now we get basically the ruined Hyrule Castle field. But now it's in ruins. So it's technically the same map, but they call it 3 different times. And it's like, it should have been different maps, technically, because we were just here. We're only the ones who can protect Hyrule Castle. Fight with your lives! Yeah, moblins are everywhere, and they are brutally fighting along. Huzzah! Defeated at long last. Defeat the monster while attacking the Hylian soldiers. Take these guys down with these. Come on! Ooh. And also that between sessions, again, I have all the characters as much as I could to level up their attacks. Linkle now has her tier 4 attack on her basic attack, so, which is this bomb attack right here, AoE attack bomb attack, which is really nice to use. To defeat the monster attacking the Hylian captains, we need to save the day in the end. Let's go! Double triggers! Boom, bada boom! Yeah, also, you can also take Linkle. I haven't mentioned this yet, but if you don't have like a attack with her, or use her strong attack without having her meter full at all, you can have Linkle take off her hood or put it back on, vice versa. So if you don't want to have her hood on and make her around with her hoodless, there you go. I think she's the only character that does something like this. So yeah, we need to defeat the moblins. We rescued all these soldiers that we need to keep rescuing. Come on, you! Booyah! See, Linkle is far more capable of a fighter because she can move around. So, in the end, I really would like to see a master crossbow. Or something like that, you know. I know that, you know, Hyrule always needs the Master Sword, but why can't there be, like, you know, a different weapon equivalent? You have the Master Sword, yes. But, you know, like, why can't we have, you know, a Master Crossbow, you know, or Master Greatsword, you know, something, you know? Because the Master Sword's been around for, you know, time immemorial, and it's tiring after a while to use the same sword all the time. So having, you know, like, something like, you know, a different weapon. You know, a different weapon to save the day. You know, not nonchalantly, you know, how the Four Sword Saga didn't even have the Master Sword in the game itself, and instead of using, the Four Sword as its main thing, which I thought was a nice change of pace, because that means, you know, Master Sword means if Master Sword's not involved, that means Ganondorf probably will not show up. And Vaati was a great villain. Why wasn't he part of the original Hyrule Warriors lineup? I think, you know, the fact that we have, you know, Wind Waker characters coming soon later on in the missions going forward, the rest of the story, I would still think that, you know, having, you know, let's have other characters. Let's have Vaati be playable. Like, Vaati was a very underrated villain, to be fair. But still, I think the idea is that, you know, how about let them, because in the DLC for this game, we got, you know, a Link Between Worlds character. You know, the Link Between Worlds DLC, which allowed us to have, you know, Yuga and, what was his name? The guy in the pink hood. Oh, the opposite version of Link. I can't come his name right now at the moment. Man, my memory is bad right now. Oh boy. But, like, we had them as playable characters, and, like, that's great and all, but, like, you know, they could have easily had, you know, Vaati be playable. I think Vaati would have been a great villain. You know, have his Minish form that he walks around with, you know, for the majority of the entirety of the game, of Minish Cap, and then have his special attacks be his stronger, you know, alternate forms. You know, like, that would have been cool. You're not dying to me. You're not dying today. Boom, bada, boom! Take you all down. And see, Linkle should be the true hero, because she can get around the battlefield, run around, and just do the dirty work as everyone intended. And you don't want to get her angry, right? Because, you know, she can, you know, manage an army of cuckoos. Like, if you piss off the cuckoos, you know, Linkle will be far behind and basically say, "No, you hurt cuckoos, you will die today." Gotta keep these keeps. If I get rid of the keeps here, they will not be able to spawn these keeps. So, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, huzzah! But I still would love to see a Linkle story. Like, you know, there's people that have met, they use, like, the Wii U emulator and whatnot. I don't remember what it is at the moment. I think it's Simu, I think it is. But they were able to, like, you know, they modded, like, new stuff into Breath of the Wild and whatnot, and they added Linkle as a, you know, over the model of Link. And quite frankly, I think Linkle fits pretty well in Breath of the Wild's world. Which is a real shame that, you know, that she wasn't added in Age of Calamity, which would have been really, really awesome for the record. I would have loved to see Linkle in Age of Calamity, because it would just feel like it'd be fitting, you know. Impa, you do your thing. I'll keep our enemies at bay. Oh, the Allied troops actually defeated Gibdo. Wasn't Linkle. The AI is finally doing its job. Because sometimes, and more often than not, you know, the AI doesn't really do much. They just stand around and get hit. Do we defeat all the monsters attacking Highland captains? I'm heading over. I don't expect to lose. Not in our sights. But now we need to take out some more keeps. Keeps down, keeps down. Surprising that, you know, the Great Fairy doesn't want to help. You think of all the beings that could technically help Hyrule rebuild, the Great Fairy is like, no, I'm not gonna save you this time. What cheap? It's like, come on. Booyah! Take these guys down. Well, the gold show's down there, and I know exactly where it is this time around. Impa, I need you to... No. Impa, I need you to go into this region right there. Gonna go right there? Hope you go right there. That's where I want you to go. That's where the gold sculpture is. It's on the opposite side of the land right there where that wall is. There we go. That keeps taking. Alright, Imp, I need to get down there as quickly as possible. Get that gold sculpture. I actually struggled to find this on the actual original playthrough, but now I know exactly where it is. I'm taking it on. Yeah! There we go. And that the gold sculpture is down and dusted. But now it's time to take on these two keeps that are keep summoning monsters like non-stop. Take you down! Man, having a crossbow like this would just be like, come on. Let's have... Having able to shoot out bombs and elemental attacks, it's like, wouldn't you want to have a crossbow like this? I know that in real life, crossbows are kind of a weird weapon to hold and everything, because there's a lot of tension. Like, you can't just shoot it like, you know, like a normal pistol would. You know, you have to pull the pull string back into its tension gauge, get the bolt in place, and then you actually fire a trigger, and then you have to do all that all over again. Zoom! Take you down! These Gibdos are a pain in the backside, because Gibdos always are. Booyah! Oh, take you down, Gibdo. I don't need you around. Take you down! Booyah! Taking out 1,500 enemies. Goodness me. Yeah, these guys really took over the keeps over. Like, we just like the battle's over, reset keeps. But it's just so weird that all these enemies just keep summoning themselves. Like, Ganondorf's dead, but they all want to keep fighting. Hey, commendable for the army that basically followed Ganondorf even in death. Or ensealment. They've taken out their keeps. At least for now, anyway. Stop those monsters coming from the keep now. Nothing will go wrong. And then we get an introduction to a gimmick I'm not very happy with. A King Dodongo has appeared, but he's now Dark King Dodongo. Dark bosses are a very different beast entirely. When you're basically fighting these things, their weakness does not appear. Yeah. So if they try to do the fire breathing attack, that would, you know, like the bombs and everything for King Dodongo and whatnot, nope, you cannot harm them. Luckily though, their defenses are kind of slightly lowered, so that you can actually harm them with normal weapons. But again, they still hit like a truck. So don't take them lightly, as they're easier to take down. And this is where the story of the compass comes into play again. Again, I really wish there was more missions, you know, explaining this magical compass that Linkle has. New monsters again? We have to protect Hyrule Castle. Yeah, we can't harm this thing. See? Can't even use weaknesses. The dark beast of the dark King Dodongo cannot be harmed. Hey, you might have been flinching from our attacks. Our attacks have no effect. We should have foes on attacking from the east. Oh boy. We gotta take out these. We have more Gibdos appearing from out of nowhere. I'll take care. Oh, leave it to me. I'll take them down. Time to Linkle for fun, fulfill her destiny. And to be fair, she is a quite effective fighter, despite not being the hero she wanted to be. But still, like, you know, she still is capable. And I do wish, you know, Linkle did show up again. In any shape or form, you know. But I think of all the characters that Hyrule Warriors introduced, you know, I think Linkle became like a fan favorite, because, like, I know for the longest time people have been asking for, like, you know, a female Link, you know. You know, maybe the reincarnation of the hero wasn't a male, maybe it was a girl, you know. It's like, I can see the idea from it, technically. But it also raises the question of genetics in the end. Could a descendant of Zelda be a guy? That brings up even more questions in that regard. You know, say if they can have a female Link, what can there be what if there's a Prince of Hyrule that had the Triforce of Wisdom that still carried the bloodline of the goddess? Now that is something to think. I don't think anyone's really done a story on that whatsoever, but it would be kind of interesting to see that, you know, go down the line. I know that won't be anything, you know, come to pass, but I think in the grand scheme of things, if people want a female Link, then there should be a prince in the royal family to take on the role of what originally would be Princess Zelda. Or that Zelda could still be present, but the focusing is not on her. It's more effectively on the prince of Hyrule, not Zelda. And Zelda's just there as a side character. You know. That's the thing about that. And you guys are not... Linkle is so powerful that she's taking these things down one at a time, no matter what. You guys can't do jack to Linkle. Got frozen. Ow. And for some odd reason, the magical compass kicks in, causing King Dodongo to revert back to his normal form and weaken King Dodongo. In his Ocarina of Time variant, no less. Not the golden one that we saw at the beginning of the game. Even though the Ocarina of Time world is now sealed away and actually fixed thanks to the ideas of what happened with what Lana did. So, I'm not sure as to why that there is such an Ocarina of Time variant of the King Dodongo. And I guess you can't really say that there's multiple different colors of King Dodongo that can form at any given time. I get that. But also at the same time, it's like, well, like every chance we've seen, you know, King Dodongo's in the current time, which is this world here, we always see golden variants or yellow variants of the King Dodongo. So this one just being this one just feels like it's out of place. The Horde of Monsters is defeated. Now it's time to take on King Dodongo himself and finish this story outright. Except for Linkle to finally take out a beast. It may not be Ganon, but still, having a character who has never taken on a King Dodongo before in her life is basically going to take one down for her own. Hi-ya! Oddly enough, though, I don't think Linkle actually ever took down a full, a boss like this at any time in her story. Yeah, this is her only boss fight in the story mode. I guess it made, you know, significance that the first boss would be, you know, the first boss of the first mission there, but still, I guess it's, you know, hero's first baby steps, I guess. Come on now. Booyah! Booyah! The Linkle can do a huge combo, given the right circumstances, and shot him right in the mouth. That King Dodongo is dead. Booyah, Linkle, I think you proved it. Now, all you do now is obtain a legendary weapon, maybe the Master Crossbow, and take down something darkness that's weak towards the magical crossbow. I know it took me a lot of time to get here. If I just turned left instead of right, it would have been good. You fought well. Well, thanks, Nia, Commander Impa. I was just doing my duty as a legendary hero, and then I'm sure my grandma would be proud. And then Impa here's like, yeah. I'm sure she would be. Like she's like, yeah. I know you're not the hero. I'm glad you helped, but you're not the legendary hero. And what is Linkle's gonna get a rude awakening when a familiar green tunic guy comes back to ruin her dreams once more. And that is Linkle's tale completed. Yep, she does not appear anywhere else. Even though she met Zelda and now met Link, she doesn't appear in the next story arc. Nope, her story is done, which is a large wasted potential. I really wish that her story actually did something more than just the separate missions in between the storyline. Like, she should have met up in story, you know, as a passing character. I think that would have been pretty good for her, to be honest with you. And we get some good weapons as usual. Rupee fodder, to the most part. And that one is done for there. Huzzah.